Welcome to Cycling Southern Ontario. We're in Haliburton Village this morning. We're about 2.5 hours north of Toronto, Canada, and we're going to be riding on the Haliburton County Rail Trail, a 35-kilometre trail that runs from here to Kinmount. Haliburton Village stands on the south end of Head Lake, and it's got a population of about 1,000 people now, just slightly over 1,000 people. The first two major industries were logging, not surprising if you can see all of the trees around us, and tourism. And it actually got its first railway station to serve these two industries in 1878. Love about this plane was it wasn't supersonic unless it was in a dive. But I want to know, who is the pilot who tested that out? Who thought, you know what I think is a good idea? I'm going to point my plane straight at the earth and see if I can break the sound barrier. So believe it or not, I really wanted to see this place. What this is the old Standard Chemicals factory. It was built in 1908 and it used all of the trees around the area as its raw material for making things like acetate powders, charcoal, wood alcohol. Because a lot of the processes that were employed used fire and steam, the building couldn't be made of wood like almost every other building around here. So it was actually made from concrete, and it was incredibly revolutionary at the time. an extremely advanced design, and apparently it had a roof that was made of concrete over chain, which was the first of its kind. During the Second World War it really boomed because the war effort required a lot of the things that were actually produced here, but also the war ended up being its downfall because new practices were developed to meet the demands of the war, and a lot of what went on here was no longer required. So in 1946 it was actually shut down. There would have been buildings all back here as well, including a multi-story building made entirely of concrete as well. It's all now being reduced to rubble. Anyway, surprisingly enough, this was somewhere that I'd really wanted to see along my journey, but it's time for us to get on. So I think this seems like as good a place as any to take a break. Almost rode straight past it. The path is just up there. And the only thing that alerted me to it was the sound of the water. I believe there's other waterfalls further down that way. Right. here before my family who are picking me up. They've got a change of clothes for me hopefully, and we'll go and grab a coffee and I'll plan my next ride.